Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears. Even though probably some people don't wanna, excuse me, because I'm pretty sure each week, each loss is pissing people off more and more and more. And I gotta tell you, it is rough. But I will say two things about these losses. Number one, the Bears are in every game, and at least it's exciting. They're not blowouts. I think they only had one this year. And number two, they're close. I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, them being so close and then we don't pull it out. Are you happy or sad? I don't know. Um, so it's another bad Monday, losing Monday. The Bears are 3-8 now. I'm not even sure they're going to be 5-12 as I predicted. I'm really not, the way they're playing and stuff. So we'll have to see, right? So, well, let's get to the game. Let's talk about it, and let's get to the meat of what happened yesterday. As you all know, we lost. It was 27, another close one. So we were in Atlanta. So let's start out with my threes. I always say on Fridays before, to be in the game or to have a chance to win the game, my threes: penalties, time of possession, and turnovers. You got to win those battles. Actually, the Bears won 2 out of 3 yesterday and still lost the game. And the reason is because of the penalties. We had another bad week of penalties. Last week we had 9 for 86 yards, I think it was. Yesterday it was 7 for 56 yards. And Atlanta only had 2. So that proves my point. And I broke down those penalties for you. We're going to talk about them in a minute. So that's really what lost the game for the Bears. That and the special teams. Allowing a kickoff for a touchdown. That didn't help. So special teams again, they did one good thing and one bad thing, and the bad thing cost us the game. So, and the penalties. So they had 7 for 56 yards, as I said, penalties. The time of possession, they won handily, 35.10 seconds. So 35 minutes they won to Atlanta's 24.50 seconds, so 24 minutes, almost 25 minutes. So we won that, and we won the turnover battle. We got 2 fumble recoveries, and they had 1 interception. So we should have, by this, won the game, but those penalties, again, you know how I feel about penalties. They got to have 5 or less to have a chance to win the game. And these last 2 weeks have very much disappointed me because prior to that, we were under 5 and under. And the penalties did hurt us in this game again. So we had a total yards were 288 yards. 153 of them were passing, and 160 of them were rushing. Fields had an okay day. He was 14 for 21 and 153 yards passing. They were passing a little bit more, and I was digging that a lot. But we're going to talk about his day on that passing in a bit. He rushed for 85 yards and a touchdown. He threw an interception, and he was sacked 4 times. He's up to 40 sacks this year. Not good. Not good at all. David Montgomery rushed for 67 yards with a 1 rushing touchdown. Then we've got, and then of course I told you what Fields did, 85 yards rushing. So our receiving corps, David Montgomery led the receiving corps. So number 32, our running back, had 54 yards of receiving. David Clement, number 85, had 35 yards receiving, and he was all over the field. He had a good day yesterday, even though it was a little low, his receiving yards, but he still had a good day. And then number 11, Mr. Mooney, my favorite, he had 29 yards with 1 touchdown, his second of the year. So, I still, like I said, I would really like to see Fields passing more. At this point, we have nothing to lose, so let's see him. because he's got to work on his passing, as we're going to talk about in a minute. So I was happy about that, but I would have liked to seen more. Our defense had a fumble recovery. So out of the two fumbles, one was recovered by the defense and one was recovered by our special teams. Brisker, number 9, who was in our backfield, a rookie, had a good day. He had 11 tackles, 8 were solo, and 1 tackle for a loss. So good job, number 9. Keep it up. This kid is going to be a solid Bear player for the future. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Sanborn, our rookie, undrafted rookie, number 57, our homegrown. Went to Lake Zurich High School, had another pretty solid day as linebacker. He had 9 tackles, and 8 of them were solo. So another solid game, and he seemed to be around the ball a lot. Our special teams did one good thing. They recovered a fumble. But then, right after the Bears scored a touchdown, they allowed Atlanta, number 84, Cordell Patterson, who was a Bear about 4 years ago, they allowed him to return a kickoff for a touchdown. Bad, and more bad. They got to stop this stuff. We got to work on our special teams because we've been giving up too many long returns and too many between the punt team and the kickoff team. They've been allowing touchdowns, and we can't have that. Venus Jones on the Bears, number 12, had a great kickoff return, and he went for 55 yards. So that was a promising thing. Okay, so let's start with the penalties. This is what the Bears have got to stop doing. They're not good enough to overcome these penalties, especially on offense. So first we're going to start with the first penalty. Was in the first quarter. First drive of the game, Atlanta has the ball first. The Bears defense got 2 penalties, and one of the penalties allowed Atlanta to get a first down. Then they got another penalty. These are the 2 penalties, all right. So they had 2 penalties on the first down. On the first drive, and the second penalty gave Atlanta a first down, which I believe they had stopped them on third down, and that continued their drive. They went down and scored a touchdown. It's just bullshit. This has got to stop. It pisses me off, penalties, so much. Then in the first quarter, the offensive team gets a penalty that pushes them back to 3rd and 19. And right after that, Fields gets sacked. Bump, we're out of field goal range. At that point, before the penalty, we were well in field goal range. Then we weren't. See how these penalties are killing us? Second quarter, our defense gets a penalty that gives Atlanta another first down after they had stopped him on 3rd down. The only good thing about this was they ended up putting the ball. But I don't care. You got to stop these penalties. Then in the second quarter, our offensive team got another penalty that took away a first down and again pushed them back, which pushed them pretty much out of field goal range. They tried a field goal. It was too long. He missed it, which then gave Atlanta great field position. I think it was like on their 50-yard line. They went down, scored a touchdown, game tied, 17-17. Okay, so you see what these penalties are doing? It's bullshit. Then in the third quarter, on offense again, the Bears get a first down. Then it's called back to a penalty. Now it's 1st and 15. It was first down, 1st and 15. Then right after that, he gets sacked. Fields gets sacked. Bears have to punt. The Bears, I'm telling you, when they get penalties on offense and it pushes them back, 96% of the time, when they're behind the sticks because of penalties on offense, they end up punting. 96% of the time is a bunch of bullshit. It's got to stop. Bears have got to stop shooting themselves in the foot on penalties, particularly on offense when you're getting first downs. How defeating is it when, Montgomery runs for his first down or Fields throws for a first down, but our offensive line gets a penalty for holding? And that's usually what happens. Those are the worst ones because that's a 10 yards right there. So the Bears have got to stop that. Okay, so after the Bears got pushed back, Um, so then, okay, so we're on that. So now the Bears defense gets a penalty, again, that allows Atlanta a first down from a penalty, which they had them stopped again. And it was real, that put them real close to the goal line. Next play, they score a touchdown. Now it's 17-24. Bears are losing. See what these penalties are doing? You know what? Those penalties hurt us in so many ways yesterday. Those 7 penalties, and then when stuff happens on our team where they should call penalties, of course they don't. I don't know what's going on with the league. But it's got to stop. They got to be fair across the league. And I've said this many times. I think sometimes these refs do not give bad teams, and it's just not the Bears, it's everybody. They don't give them the benefit of the doubts like they do, the Tampa Bays and the Green Bays and all those other, Philadelphia, all those other bullshit teams. They get the calls, we don't. Really, really makes me mad. I hate penalties. Hate them, hate them, hate them. And 2 weeks in a row, they have cost us games. It has got to stop, Bears. You hear me? Okay. Now let's talk about the kind of day Fields had. You know the numbers I told you. So in the first quarter, he overthrew a wide open Mooney. I'm pretty sure if it didn't get us a touchdown, we would have been awfully close. And Justin has a lot of issues overthrows. He does a lot of overthrows. This is why I think they should have Fields throwing more. We're 3-8. It doesn't matter, guys. He needs to get this experience, and he needs to get it this season. We don't want him doing that next season. Next season, we want him coming out and completing those wide open receivers and throwing it to him, dropping them in there, And so they need to, So this is where I'm going to start calling Luke I'm going to start getting him. Luke doesn't get it again, okay? Because he should be passing the ball more. And yesterday's game proved that we got to slow down him from running so much as we all know he got hurt, and it's got to stop, okay? Then Fields throws a fantastic, I shouldn't say fantastic. He threw a pass to Clement that was a little wide of Clement, but Clement goes up, our tight end, number 85, and makes a one-handed, amazing catch. It wasn't a great pass, but Clement saved Fields on that, and that was in the second quarter. But it was a fucking great catch. The Bears ended up getting a field goal out of that, and they were up 10-17. Then in the fourth quarter, Fields did have a great pass to our running back, number 32, got us a touchdown. A good play, got us some first downs. And I believe after that, then the next play, Fields does this amazing scramble for I don't know how many seconds they said it was. It was 30-something seconds. And he's scrambling around, and he's directing. This was the amazing catch to Fields. Montgomery. I'm sorry. So he's scrambling around, and he's running, he's scrambling, and he's directing David Montgomery. He whips it in there for a first down. We go down, and right after that catch, in the next play, we get a touchdown. It's 24-24. That was amazing by Fields, I will say. And that's what I'd rather see him do than take off and run. You know what I'm saying? Which, allow your running backs and your receivers and your tight ends to do their job. And that was really one of my favorite plays of the whole game because how he was scrambling and then he's directing David Montgomery, and he threw it where only Montgomery could catch it. He just dropped it in there. If he can keep doing that more and more, we're going to be golden next year. Okay, so now the game's tied, 24. We have 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the game. Fields, is hurt by now. He's holding his shoulder. His hamstrings killing him. They were working on his hamstrings every time he pretty much came off the field. And this is where I saw, and I don't know if anybody else, and the announcers didn't even mention it, but Fields is going back to pass, and he gets whacked in the head by a defensive player. Now, he's a quarterback, and I've seen less hitting of the head where a penalty's called in other games to other teams on their quarterbacks. And that should have been a 15-yard penalty, first down Bears. Again, we don't get it. What a bunch of bullshit on that. That was a bullshit no call. Again, Fields does not get the benefit of the doubt. Again, it's a lack of respect, in my opinion. Then Fields, because he's hurting, throws an interception. Game over, 24-27. They had already scored though that field goal, so it was already 24-27. But once he threw the interception, the Bears comeback had no ability to come back. Now, the Bears, that's the thing. The Bears cannot finish games. We've seen that in the last 2 weeks. And I don't understand why Luke doesn't get it, was having him run on those downs. He was clearly hurt. I personally think he should have been out of the game when it was 1 minute and 47 seconds. His shoulder was hurting. He kept grabbing it. He was already having leg problems with his hamstrings. You should have put Trevor Siemian in, our backup. And he's a decent backup. Let him see what he has. At that point, what's the difference? You want to save your franchise quarterback. What the hell, Bears? I really thought that was very reckless and irresponsible of the Bears to do. He should have been removed from that game. He was clearly hurt. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do it. And the play calling was horrible. That's the thing about Luke doesn't get it. At the end of these games, the last several weeks, he's been calling terrible plays. We know he did last week, and he did it again yesterday. So this guy is up and down with his ability. Sometimes I really like it, and it seems like in the second half of the games, he just sucks. And he's been putting Fields, especially yesterday, in bad situations. Let the running backs do the running, not your quarterback. Enough is enough. I'm done with him doing all this, amazing run. Look at him now. He looks beat to shit. So enough, okay, Bears? Step up and do the right thing. You can tell I'm worked up today. I'm pissed. So then the defense. Okay, our defense. Our defensive line is awful. They cannot stop anybody. They do. They'll stop here. They'll stop them for first. They stop them, it's second down at 10. And then they give up big runs. They give up big plays. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And that's why our backfield, number 6, Gordon, number 9, Brisker, as I told you, are having good games and a lot of tackles because our defensive line and our linebackers are horrible. Yeah, Jack Sanborn had a pretty good day. And number 55, Monroe, he's a linebacker, Monroe, and he had some good plays, but they're not consistent. Our defensive line and our linebackers are not good. They have a lot of work to do. And, you see some flashes from guys here and there, but it's not consistent. So, and you cannot have your backfield leading a game with tackles. That's a bad sign. Very bad. So I talked about the terrible play calling with the last 2 minutes. I just don't get it. I think it was terrible, irresponsible. And as I said, the Bears cannot finish a game. And they proved it the last 2 weeks. Between the penalties and not finishing a game, it's just bad. So I don't know why they're not working on this more, but there was a lot of things you can say about that. Again, I think Fields should have been replaced with less than 2 minutes. He was clearly hurt. And the Bears sent him out there. And then they're calling running plays. What the fuck? I know. What can I say? It makes me mad. And I'm cranky because I love my grandson, but in the last 2 months, he has gotten me sick. I've got a cold again because he was real sick a week and a half ago. He had RSV. So then then his mom and his father get sick, and then now I'm sick. So I'm cranky because I've been sick twice now in 2 months. So it's like I forget what it's like having little kids around. And he doesn't even go to daycare. We take care of him. But he did get sick because one of his cousins was sick, and he gave it to him the second time. The first time, his dad gave it to him. So they just love to share with Grandma, and she's cranky, and she don't like it. Okay, so let's talk about the Turf Award winner. As I say, if people are new to the show, this is actual AstroTurf from Soldier Field that they ripped up in 1997, 98. They put real grass in, and they sold patches of it, and we got several of them. So, the 85 Bears ran on this, Walter Payton ran on this, and what's amazing is look how thin it is. And under it was concrete. This wood is, they put that on it to sell it, but under it was concrete. So shit, that's tough little boogers that ran on this stuff and landed on it, right? And so that's why I call it the Turf Award. It's for toughness in a game, not necessarily the most yards. So, you know what? There wasn't really one that really stands out. You could say Brisker because he had a great day on defense. But I got to give it to Cole Kmet again. That catch was spectacular. One-handed. It was not a great pass. It was way out there, if you remember. And he just sucked that ball in. So, Cole, and you were all over the field, and you're stepping up for your quarterback. And I like seeing it. And he's a really good blocker. He has really come into his own on year 3. He is playing the way we expected him to play when we signed him. So, Cole Kmet, this is the second time you're receiving it, and you deserve it, my friend. So, that is the game yesterday. I could repeat everything, but the bottom line is the penalties have got to stop. That was one thing they were very good in the beginning of the year, but now they're shooting themselves in the foot, and particularly on offense. Because if you watch this, and I'm right, once they go behind the sticks, forget about a first down. We're done. And then he always gets sacked or something bad happens, So, and he has been throwing, interceptions again. I think he has 8 now. And he still has more touchdowns, so that's a good thing. And that's, again, we're in a learning year. So that's why, you know what? Have him throw more. He needs work on the long passes for sure. He's got the short ones down. He needs to get more accurate on these passes, like the Cole Kmet one. Wasn't that accurate. He missed a wide open Mr. Moody, number 11, for a touchdown. Again, and this is not the first time. And the other thing is he's still holding on to the ball at times in the game too long. Not a lot. He's much better than he has been Fields, but he was still at the end of the game holding on to that ball too long. So, and then the Bears let him and the Bears fans down by not removing him from the game when he's got a bad shoulder and a bad hamstring. Enough is enough, Bears. You know what? They say we won't know until Wednesday how he is. I'm telling you, if he's banged up, put Trevor Siemian in and let this kid heal up. Because I really want him playing for the Packer game. Because I want to beat the fucking Packers one time this year. At least get us a win there. So keep him out this next Sunday. We're playing the Jets. Jets are probably going to win that game the way they've been playing. Although I think they lost yesterday. But whatever. They've been playing better than they were. So keep him out and put Siemian in. I can't say his name. I'll say Trevor. And the other person... the other person that got hurt, that's right, was Gordon, number 6. And he was having a great game, and he went out. Gosh, was it the end of the third quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter? Doesn't matter. And he went out, and he's in concussion protocol. So, and he was flying all over the field yesterday until he got hurt. So that was kind of, and then a couple plays later, Atlanta gets a touchdown. And I'm not saying if he was in there, they wouldn't have got the touchdown, but you don't know because he was all over the place. So, 2 major, injuries right there we're going to see about. So I think the Bears need to do right. We know Justin is a tough guy, but let's not push our luck, right? Do not push our luck. It's not worth it. We're 3-8. I say he needs more experience. He does, but he needs the experience when he's healthy. And we all know we want him to play against that Green Bay on, I think it's December 4th in Soldier Field. We want him to play that game. And then after that game, it's a bye. So if you give him off this coming Sunday, he can play Green Bay if he's healthy enough. And then he has a bye, so then he has another 2 weeks off. And then you've got Philadelphia, Buffalo, Detroit, and Minnesota. And out of those 4 games, 3 out of 4 of them are in Soldier Field. So that helps. So let's see what happens on Wednesday when they come out and give the injury report. Let's hope it's positive. But the Bears need to do the right thing for their future franchise quarterback. Don't you agree? Yes. All right, I'm just going to stop bitching because you get the point. Another close and fucking disappointing loss. Yeah. I said, and I've said it a million times this season, I can handle the losses if there's improvement. But these close ones, the Bears should have won both. They really should. They should be 5 and whatever it is, 5 and 7, no, 5 and whatever. They should have 2 more wins. Remember, my head is completely stuffed up, so I'm not thinking very well. But they should have at least 5 wins right now, in my opinion. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You know I love you guys. My subscriptions have gone up by like 4 or 5 since my last show. Rock and roll. And remember, if you watch me, like and subscribe. You know, it's nothing wrong with subscribing, even if you don't watch a lot. But then I'd say, why aren't you watching a lot? Seriously, who would not want to watch this face? A woman who has her dad's face on a woman's body. Not really fair, but you got to imagine I am pretty fun. All right. And catch me on the podcast that I do live, usually live on Wednesday evenings. It is my buddy's podcast, who, by the way, was at that game yesterday and did not bring home a win. Oh, and this is cool. In the beginning of the game, if you were paying attention, they showed a group of guys dressed as Ditka. They had the vest on that said Bears. They all had mustaches. And I knew somebody there. My niece's husband's brother, who I know, he was there. They were on a bachelor party, and they all decided to dress up. So, hey, I knew somebody in that group. So, kind of cool. They showed him on TV. I text Andrew, my niece's husband. I'm like, they just showed your brother on TV. So, see, I am famous. Okay, so as I was saying, catch me on the podcast Wednesday night if you want to. It's called, the tag name is Bears Country Podcast. And the show name is The Down Low with Dan and Lynn. It's a fun show. We just jibber jabber about the Bears, and sometimes we do get off subject, but we always have a pretty great time. And then I want to thank you all for watching. I want to wish you all a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. And remember on Thanksgiving to remember what you're grateful for, because times are tough right now and everybody likes to go to the negative. So on Thanksgiving Thursday, remember, say it out loud. I'm grateful because I have this. I'm very grateful that I have this awesome son and daughter-in-law, and they gave me this awesome, and he's 7 months old, grandson, and I just adore him. So I'm very blessed for that, and I'm very blessed for the family I have all over the damn country that I'm going to miss, because I'm not going to see them on Thanksgiving this year. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and as always, be kind to one another, stop hate, inspire change. Help people out if they're struggling. If you see them out and about and doing something, help them out. And remember to smile. You know, you smile at somebody, they could be having a bad day, and a smile can lift them up. It's just the best, isn't it? I mean, come on. Who wouldn't love this? Okay. So please do those things. You Bears fans rock. Tell everybody about me. You know, I want to be somebody someday. I'm pretty old, so if I want to be somebody someday, I better get going, because I'm an old broad. I'm running out of time. All right. On that note, I'll see you Friday. We'll do we'll talk about the Bears and the Jets. And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. And bye-bye.